Okay, so what I'm going to show you today is why I originally got into resin. I have reptiles for pets, and I didn't want to just throw their shed away. So I have pieces of ball python shed here from my daughter's ball python. And I'm going to show you how I put these in jewelry today. Now I'm going to put my gloves on. When you're working with shed, if you don't want to tear it, you have to be really, really delicate with it because it is very delicate. I never work with skin. I always work with just the shed because I am very careful about the materials that I use. Almost all of the shed that I use is from my own animals or my daughter's animals. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put a thin layer of the resin, just like this. There is some stuff in this mold, so I'm just going to pick it out with this tool here. I'll just move it over. And I want to make sure that I have a complete coat. There's a little bit of hair. That's because I also have cats, which I love dearly, but their hair gets everywhere. Okay, so now I have that coat of resin. I'm going to cure it briefly, but I'm not going to cure it briefly, because what I want to do is I want to get a little texture into the resin. And how I'm going to do that, I'm going to move that aside. I am going to add some color to this transparent shed. This is belly shed. It gives nice texture to the resin, but there's no color. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the Let's Resin Chameleon powder in fuchsia. And a paintbrush. Tap off the excess. And I'm just going to just brush some. You need to be gentle, but you just brush it on the shed. And you see how it just collects in the scales? And that'll help them show up in the resin. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of the green chameleon powder from Let's Resin. It still has a pink to it, but then it shifts to green. And when I do shed pieces, I don't usually add a whole lot to them because I really want the shed to be the star. So I'm going to set that piece aside. Now this piece here is bunched up a little bit more, so I have to pull it apart. But you can see this is a little bit more color, and you see how easy that tore? But this piece has more color to it, so it'll show up a little bit more in the resin. I am going to just do that. And I'm going to just brush the the powder on, and then I'll come back. Okay, so now that both of those have the powder on them, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tweezers that are also dirty, but I don't buy new things unless they're broken or I'm out of them. And I'm just going to put the shed in the resin. And I don't lay it flat because I want it to have some texture. And I want it to take up the entire space. Like so. Just like that. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. And I have so many containers of reptile shed. I have a bearded dragon as well, so I work with his shed in different ways because they don't shed in big pieces like snakes do. They shed in little pieces. So I will also be doing a video of how I work with his shed as well in the future. Okay, so this looks good. I will cure this and then I will be back with next steps. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I have the Less Resin Interference Silver mica powder. And I'm going to brush that on the shed. And this will just help the color of the Chameleon powder show up just that little bit more. And it'll also help the shed because I really want the shed to sing on this. A little shed broke off into my into my interference powder. Alright, well this piece is going to have a lot of it. That's fine. Okay. So after I do that, I take my little silicone pot here and put my Let's Resin UV resin. This is not a sponsored video. This is not a promotional video. I was Let's Resin black alcohol ink. And I'm just going to mix it in and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that that's mixed in, all I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the resin with the black alcohol ink over the shed. And we're going to cure it. And there's a couple different ways to finish these. Usually what I do is I just drill a hole at the top and use a screw eye pin. And then I use one of those clasps and then run a chain through it. But you can use a couple of screw eyes. It just depends how you want to finish them. I don't know how I'm going to finish these, so I won't be finishing them in the video today. There's a little shed sticking up. I'm just poking it down. When I do shed pieces, if there's a little texture on the back, I typically do not sand them because I don't want any air getting to the shed after I put them in resin. Okay, I am going to cure these and I'll be back for the demold. I'm gonna cure these for at least 5 minutes, so I'll be back. Okay, so these are cured. Let's see what they look like. I'll do the little one first. Now what you can do with these as well, if they have a flat front, and I probably will, is you can dome them, which will give them an even more finished look. And I think what I'll do is I will pause the video after unmolding the other one and I'm gonna dome them so you can see what they look like then, because oh, these turned out beautifully. I'm really happy with these. Yeah, I'm gonna dome these and I will be right back. Okay, so instead of doming them and then coming back, I decided to record it a little bit. So what I do when I dome is I put them on an acrylic block, and then I use just sticky tack or like what you use to hang posters on your wall. And then zoom in a little bit, because it lets you hold them steady, but you don't have to touch them. No, I don't want that one. I want this one. And then I just put resin in the center and I just gently bring it to the edge. And I'm not using any other resin than what I use to make the piece. I don't use high viscosity or anything like that. I just make sure that it's all the way to the edge, but I don't go over the edge. Just like that. And then I'll do the other one. But you can see even before curing how much clearer the pattern is. Alright, I'm going to cure these and we'll be back for the final look. Alright, so here's the big one. You can see the texture and the colors. Doesn't even look like shed anymore. It's so beautiful though. Here's the little one. So this is just one of the things that you can do with reptile shed. I plan on showing you several others. But I hope you have a great week. Please like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.